Hey babes, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Jadeywadey180. Today's video is all about my top makeup artist tricks on how to make your makeup last the longest. So if you want your makeup to not crack and look beautiful all day long, go ahead and keep watching. Okay babes, so jumping straight into it, the first thing that you want to do is have a very clean base. So I actually don't like to use a lot of skincare products in the morning because I feel like they can cause your makeup to slip or get a little bit greasy. So I'm one of those where the night before, always at night, I'm just like drenching my skin in serums and moisturizers. I do my masks. I do most all my treatments at night and just keep most of my makeup stuff to the morning and use a little bit of moisturizer, but mostly I depend on my primers. I'll do a video for you guys very soon on my nighttime skincare routine because I feel like it makes all the difference in how my skin looks and feels the next morning. But first, starting off, you really do want to have a clean base. So I like to go in with a makeup wipe, and the only wipes that I use are from Neutrogena. I'm sure you guys know exactly what these wipes are. This is just the mini one. It's so cute. And you can get the big packs, but these are very, very popular. I just like to use a wipe in the morning just to get rid of any excess mascara, and then we can move on to the toner. So next, I really like to use a super good toner, and I use this one from Henriksen. This is the Balancing Force Oil Control, and it seriously absorbs any excess oil that I get around the T-zone, so it's really gonna help keep that area dry and clean so that the makeup doesn't get into the pores and you start to get that separation from the oil. And this toner is seriously so awesome. It has salicylic in it, glycolic and lactic acids. Those are all my favorite acids to keep the skin looking really tight, really fresh, and very glowy. So I'm just using the same wipe because I'm not wasting any trees anymore on this planet. And we're just going to put a good amount and then just apply all over the face. Lactic acid is my favorite because it is a natural lightener. It's gonna help with any hyperpigmentation. And I do have a little spot right here that I've been working on, trying to get it lighter. When you are using acids, you do wanna be careful with going in the sun though, so be sure to wear your sunscreen, and I'll talk all about that later. And then just wait for it to dry. So the next step to ensure that our makeup is not going to move no matter what the weather or the circumstances is finding a very good base. So that means finding an amazing primer that works for your skincare needs. And a lot of people don't even know why they use a primer. Primers are going to make your makeup last the longest. They're also going to make the makeup go on a lot smoother. So it's all about finding that best one for yourself. And there are so many different primers out there that it's really hard to find one that works for you, but I am so excited to show you these new ones from Beauty Blender because they are awesome. They literally target all different skin types. So they came out with 3 different primers. One of them has 2 different shades in it, and I'm gonna go ahead and talk to you guys all about each of them and which ones would work best for you depending on what skin type you have. Okay, so my skin personally, I have all different types of skin on my face. So you guys know I have oily in this T-zone area. I always have to touch up in those areas. Then I'm very, very dry on my cheeks, and it's just like there's no oil there. They get a little bit patchy sometimes. So I actually like to mix my primers. I like to put them in all different areas depending on how my skin is feeling that day. So first, I'm going to start with this Selfie Shield because it does have that SPF in it. I do want to get a little bit of sunscreen on my face because we did use that toner with all those AHAs and those acids. So I'm literally using the most small amount, and we're just going to press it everywhere on our skin. But the great thing about this sunscreen primer is that it is very self-absorbing. So if you're afraid of using a sunscreen before your makeup because you think it's going to be greasy, this is a sunscreen primer. So it's not going to make your skin greasy. It's going to give you that good amount of SPF, but also prep your face before your foundation. Next, I'm going to be using that leveler, and this is the shade Light Medium. I could use the dark one if I wanted to, if I had a little bit darker of a tan, but I'm a little bit more on the lighter side right now. And we are going to use this on the T-zone. So anywhere that's gonna get really oily, this is really gonna help because it is a pore minimizer. It's gonna help reduce the size of the pores and the texture. So this would be great for anyone that also has any acne spots. This could fill in those areas very well. I'm just keeping it to the center of my face because those are the areas where I just get too shiny. And then lastly, I'm gonna be using the Opalescence Serum Primer, and we're just going to use a pea-sized amount of this beautiful iridescent prime. I'm just gonna apply it to the glowy areas. And if you're one of those that you like really natural makeup, you could totally wear primers by themselves because they do add a little bit of glow and just natural looking radiance to the skin. So if you don't like to wear foundation at all, you could totally just wear these primers. Okay, my skin is feeling super hydrated in all the right places, matte in the right ones, and we can go ahead and move on to the next little makeup artist trick that I use if I want my skin to last all day long. So this is one step that I feel like a lot of people, they do not know. This is more of like a makeup artist hack, and I used to do this on my brides when I had them in my chair, and I knew that they were gonna be in like 10 or 12 hours of makeup and they did not want to crack a little bit of shine. They didn't want to do a touch-up. So this would be the step that I added in there just to make sure that it lasted throughout their whole event. So this is a powder from Krylon, which is a makeup artist brand. You can get it online or in any makeup artist store like Namie's or anything like that. It's an anti-shine powder, and I love to set my face, as in set my primer, before I even apply my foundation. This is gonna ensure that all the prime is locked in. It's going to be like a very strong base holder, and we're just going to plaster that on and we can move on to the foundation. And I promise you, this step is like that little trick that will make all the difference. So this already comes with a puff. We're just going to set the whole face. Really be sure to get into the nose area because that's just everyone's problem area usually. This is gonna make sure that your makeup doesn't move on your nose, because I actually got a lot of questions. Why does my makeup separate on my nose? It could be because you have too much excess oil, or you're not using the right foundation, or you're probably not using the right primers. Okay, so this next trick is one that I like to do sometimes depending on the skin type. I personally am so oily, like I've said, so I like to apply my concealer sometime before I do my foundation. And this is just going to help conceal any little areas and make sure that we're not putting too much foundation on, because sometimes that could be the reason why we're getting so oily and just so greasy looking, because there's just too much product and our skin can't handle it. So the concealer that I'm using is the Age Rewind from Maybelline. I just have to say, this concealer is amazing. Like, especially for a drugstore concealer, it really holds. I don't feel like it creases as much as others. I think it all depends on your skin. If you have a lot of crepiness under your eyes, of course, there's gonna be concealer that gets in those folds. So you just have to find the right one for you. This one I have been going back to over and over in the past year, so it's become one of my new favorites. And of course, always using a damp beauty blender and just lightly pressing it. And then after this, you can go ahead and you can move on to the rest of your face, do your foundation, contour, everything the same. But these steps really help with making sure that your makeup lasts. It's gonna get rid of a lot of that excess oil that we do not want, and it's gonna make sure that we can go throughout our day without having to touch up so many times. Because I remember when I used to touch up like probably every hour. I would touch up in the mirror and it would look ridiculous and embarrassing. I'd like be on a date when I was young and I'd be like touching up every like 5 minutes, and that's just not a look, girl. We do not want to be touching up. We just want to look good in the morning and ready to go tackle our day. So I'm gonna go ahead and speed through the rest of the tutorial, but definitely use these tricks. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you at the end of the video. Okay, my loves, I hope you loved these little tricks on how to make your makeup last longer. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.